Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode in this module. Today we're going to be going through some agency myths and just honestly cutting through the noise of, all the craziness and nonsense you guys are probably hearing on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram from your favorite gurus who are telling you to spam your clients with 10,000 emails and all this crazy stuff. Okay, so let's just break through some of these agency myths that I know you guys are hearing. I know that I've been hearing for the last 5 years. I mean, apparently running an agency 3 years ago, it was dead. You hear these things that like this business model is dead. This is dead. Sending looms is dead. All this stuff. Okay, so let's just dive right in. All right. So today's itinerary, we're going to be cutting through the noise of the agency space, bringing you back to reality, and then enable you to actually be unique when you're building your agency. Okay. So first, let's tackle on some acquisition myths. All right. So email, Facebook ads, Loom videos, etc. is dead. All right. I love that one. I don't know. You need a website to get started. You should wait to spend money on ads. You need a large audience to get clients organically. Your subject lines and email structures, everything for outbound, or it's the most important for outbound, right? So the truth around client acquisition, all forms of acquisition work. However, each method comes with its own list of pros and cons depending on your business, audience, positioning, and offer, etc. Okay, I will tell you this right now. The reason why, and when I started my agency, I was doing so much forms of outreach. I was sending emails. I was sending, not just copywritten emails, but with Loom videos. I was doing DMs myself. I didn't hire an appointment setter or VA to do this for me. I was sending DMs, both, again, video and written. I was doing cold calls. I was showing up into people's businesses. And this is at a point where I didn't even have a niche yet. Like I didn't even understand the concept of a niche because I was so scared and had such a scarce mindset around saying no against business owners that I would literally just I would just accept any business that came to me. Okay. So the thing that I want to get across is like the methods of outreach work. Every single method works. However, it is your approach that is probably lacking, which is why you're not getting the response rate or the close rate that you're looking to get. Okay. So secondly, you need to adopt the mentality that you are willing to try any form of acquisition method until you find multiple ways of generating leads that work for you. Okay. Stop listening to the nonsense out there that looms are dead or Facebook ads don't work, blah, blah, blah. They do. These people that are just telling you this, they either suck at it themselves or they're just trying to sell you their thing. Like, I'm going to be straight up with you. All these methods work. Okay. It's just your approach that needs tweaking and it needs the work. All right. So transcend into your own business owner. All right. So don't be afraid to try new things. Guys, if you guys have ideas around your outreach, something that you guys want to do, go try it. Like, you're your own business owner. This is why you started a business, right? This program, this community, it's to help you avoid hurdles that I went through and that my whole team went through when we were, growing and expanding the agency. But if you have new ideas and you want to test them out, that's the beauty of running your own business. And it's honestly the most fun part. Okay. So don't be afraid to try new things. Don't give up so easily when it comes to your methods of client acquisition. I see this way too often. People, they send their first round of emails, or they do their first round of cold calls, or they run their first thing of ads and they quit right away, without understanding the data behind it, tweaking their approach. Again, it goes back to like, people are so quick to point the finger at like, oh, Facebook ads are dead. This is dead. This doesn't work. But they fail to like actually go and research and educate themselves on how to make themselves better and their approach better so that that method actually does convert. Okay. Thirdly, recognize that the clients will eventually come as you sharpen your skills. Guys, it took me so long to actually get good at client acquisition and client retention, which ties into service delivery. It took me so long to get into that. I would retain clients for 3 to 4 months. It would take me months on end to get clients. Like, I couldn't just have a consistent stream of new clients coming into the agency. Now I'm at the point where all of our lead gen systems are working so well. It's like this beautifully well-oiled machine that we actually find that when we really start to get, the wheels turning on that, we actually have to like turn our lead generation systems off because we're so overwhelmed with the amount of leads. And for us, we're not trying to book 100 calls a month. Like, we would prefer to have, 15, maybe 20 calls a month with like really overly qualified leads that we can start to identify, okay, who are the 2 clients this month that we want to bring on board into the agency. But we're at the point now too, where like we're even at capacity where it's like we're a boutique agency. We want to remain boutique. And so you're just going to find that like the client acquisition side is actually pretty easy, but it's just a matter of actually building the confidence and the skill set in that area. Okay. So just have faith in yourself that like, if you just commit to refining your skills and learning new forms of, outreach and new forms of inbound, and you just stay consistent, that the acquisition side will come, and it'll actually become like the easiest part of running your agency. The hard part becomes service delivery and tailoring that to your clients and being able to retain those clients for the long term. That becomes the tricky part. And then of course that ties into like adapting into like the agency space, how marketing as a whole just starts to evolve. Like when I started my agency, you could get away with just having a Facebook ads agency or an Instagram ads agency. It doesn't work that way anymore, right? So just understand that you have to be willing to adapt and refine and learn new skills, okay? Now, get some good sample data before changing up your approach, all right? So in this program, the one thing that I'm really excited to actually go through with you guys is, we have, full modules on basically organic acquisition. So actually building your social funnels, your personal brand, so that people see your content that you're posting for free on all these platforms, and people will come to you for your advice, and people will come to you for actually like working with you. Okay. So organically, we have email outreach and DM outreach. So everything from building out your emails, copywritten emails that include looms, our loom strategy that actually works and it converts very, very well. Appointment setters, how to actually train up your appointment setters, how to have them sending DMs, doing all these things, or how you can actually take that on yourself at first if you're trying to save on costs and then invest down the road. We have inbound strategies for TikTok, for Facebook, things like that. So there is no shortage of ways to get clients in this program. Okay. That is actually the one thing that I found I struggled a lot with when I would join other people's programs or communities. They just never actually talked, really in depth about getting new clients, because I don't know, it's almost like they tried holding it like a secret or something, or I don't know, people just get weird around like client acquisition. But we pull back the curtain on it all. I want to show you guys exactly how my agency like gets all of our clients, and basically how it's just become like really, really simple and easy for us to get clients. Okay. So action steps for today. All right. So write down all forms of acquisition methods that you've currently tried and tested. How long did you try these methods for? How many forms of outreach did you send? How much did you spend on the campaigns that you launched? Maybe you ran ads before. How much did you spend? And did you enjoy some of these methods of lead gen more than the others? Okay. So honestly, ask yourself these questions and ask yourself if you gave these forms of outreach your best effort. Because that's another thing is, like I said, people are too fast to quit. So I want to make sure that you guys answer these questions seriously and honestly, so that we can go back and, encourage you to go back and refine some of these methods of outreach and methods of inbound outreach, inbound strategy that can actually get you new clients. Okay. So we need to be honest with ourselves in this situation. All right. And then lastly, begin identifying which forms of outreach you were good at and the ones that didn't stick. All right. This will come into handy when we dive into the good stuff later on in the program. Okay. So again, we want to help you guys focus on your strengths. So if you found that, you were really good at making content and you actually got a lot of traction there, good. We're going to double down on that. But down the road, if, it was the paid ads that was giving you, a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges, we're going to refine that for you, because my goal for each and every single one of you is to build multiple sources of sales channels, because you never want to have all your eggs in one basket in just getting clients through paid ads or just getting clients through email, things like that. And again, I say this because I was a victim of that. I went from a place where all of my leads were coming in from outbound, which was good. And then I got lazy and wanted something more automated, which in essence was a good thing, because we then built paid ad systems, but then we left the outreach side on the back burner and didn't even do any of it. And then we only had paid ads. So now, the best thing that we ever did was just say, hey, you know what? We need to build multiple sales channels. And that's exactly what I want for you guys. Okay. So follow those action steps, go into the Discord community and ask other people how they're setting up some of their outbound outreach systems, if anyone else is doing inbound as well too, and just start bouncing ideas off of each other. Again, this community, it is the best part, interacting and networking with other people, because other people will have different ideas for you and they'll have other tips and tricks. Okay. But later on in these modules, we will be getting into the nitty gritty of how to actually build out all of these acquisition systems, service delivery systems, retention systems, everything. So you don't need to worry about it. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very quick and short module on the agency myths. I hope it clears up some nonsense for you and just to put you at ease that these methods of outreach work. It is just your approach. All right. So don't believe the nonsense on YouTube from your favorite guru. Listen to somebody that has actually built a successful agency and multiple successful agencies, both in the service delivery side for a done for you service and in the consulting side. Okay. So best wishes to you guys. Thanks for enjoying this module, and I will see you guys in the next one.